In this video, I'm going to take a look at the cmath module within the Python programming language, and we can look at how this can help us deal with complex numbers. In the previous video, we looked at this, x squared is equal to -1, and we went on to ask the question, how do we find x? And we know we can take the square root of both sides, which will result in this, and then of course we can carry on, and we end up with x being equal to I, where I is the symbol that represents the square root of -1. And we can see this here being I equals to the square root of -1, which we can argue is not technically correct, because what we're really saying here, I is the symbol that represents the square root of -1. However, this is what mathematicians use. They use I. When you're within a Python program, you use J to represent the square root of -1. So this is saying J equals the square root of -1, when in fact what we're really saying is J is the symbol that represents the square root of -1. But considering these two in the way in which they're shown here can be a useful memory aid when we want to do some calculations using I when we're doing mathematics and J when we're doing mathematics within Python. We also considered this computer program in the last video, and you can see I'm importing the math module. Here I let x be assigned -1, and on this line I'm taking the square root of x, which is the square root of -1, and if you look you can see it's math.square root of x, meaning I'm using the definition of the square root that exists in the module that I imported on this line. And of course when I execute this code we find that we get a value error, because when we attempt to take the square root of -1 using the math module and the square root within the math module, this square root function expects to take in a float or an integer here, and it expects to return a float. And of course the square root of -1, we don't have a real number that will represent the square root of -1, as we explained in the last video. So Python will object to this and say math domain error, meaning that this cannot find the square root of -1. Let's now consider the computer programming that's coming into view, and I've made some amendments to the program that we've just been considering. The first amendment I wish to point out is shown on this line. You can see I'm importing cmath, whereas up here you could see that I was importing math. Let's now consider these two lines, and we can see that the difference is shown here. This is cmath, whereas up here you can see it was math. Now what this line's going to do, it's going to call upon the square root function that was defined in the module cmath. And of course what we're passing in here is -1. And this line is going to display the value of x and the value of y. And of course the value of y will be whatever's returned by this call to the square root function. So let's look at the runtime for this program, and you can see you get this. Now you can clearly see here we have -1, which was placed there by this, because on this line we set x to -1. Whereas when we look at this, you can see it's 1j. Now that was put in this position because of this, and of course that's the value of y that was found on this line by calling this function here. Let's be clear why we have in this position 1j. Well, let's go back to this line, and you can see here we're trying to find the square root of -1. Now we know there is no real number that is the square root of -1, and in fact we showed in mathematics that the square root of -1 can be represented by I, and in Python the square root of -1 is represented by j. So what this will do, it'll say that it has got a value of j, and j is assigned to y, and of course when we execute this line what this will output here is the j, but Python puts a 1 in front, as you can see. And of course this 1 in front of the j means one lot of j, one lot of the square root of -1. So what this has done here, it's taken in -1 and it's returned the square root of -1, which is j. And don't forget, j is a number, and it is a number that is an instance of the complex class. And this j is an imaginary number, which is one part of a complex number. Because if you remember, a complex number has two parts, a real part and an imaginary part. And the j defines which bit is the imaginary part. So for 1j, the value of the imaginary part of the complex number is 1. You may be asking, if this is the imaginary part of the complex number, where is the real part? Well, in fact, if we were to consider this, we would realize that the real part is in fact 0. So you could legitimately write this out as shown here, 0 plus 1j, where the 0 represents the fact that the complex number has no real part. But make no mistake, this is the imaginary part of the complex number, and in this case the real part is 0. Let's now consider the computer program again with the addition of these two lines. When this program executes, the output is shown here. So let's single step through the program and see what the output actually means. Well, here I assign to x minus 1. On this line I take the square root of x, which is taking the square root of minus 1, and the result is assigned to y, and of course it's going to be j. So what this line will now output from this position is the value of x, which we can see here is minus 1, as you would expect, because that's what we assigned it to here. And of course, what we're outputting here is y, and we know that this line worked out y to be j, and that's what we see here. We see 1j. So we know this is the imaginary bit of the complex number. This line is going to tell us what the type of x is, where x is the variable that was given minus 1 on this line. And we can see it is telling us that the type of x is class int. In other words, x is the name bound to an instance of the integer class that has the value of minus 1. Now this line will tell us the type of the variable y, and you can see I'm outputting that here. So if we go and have a look at the runtime, we can see it's telling us the type of y is, and here you can see it says class complex. So y is the name that is bound to an instance of the complex class. In other words, y is an object of the complex class. And we can see that that instance, that object, has the value of 1j, which is what we would expect, because what we were doing on this line was taking the square root of minus 1, which is j, and of course that j, which is a number, remember, was assigned to the y. Now the key points I would like you to take from this video are as follows. We import the cmath module to work with imaginary numbers as well as also complex numbers, because an imaginary number is just one part of a complex number. Because remember, a complex number has a real and an imaginary part. Also, in Python, j, the imaginary number, is an instance of the complex class. And of course, if we were doing engineering maths, we might write j down to represent the square root of minus 1. And in Python, it also uses j to represent the square root of minus 1. But you will often need to remember that if it's j by itself, what Python will do is what's shown here. It'll represent j as 1j. Because of course, you can have 2j, you can have 100j, and you can have 2.5j. We'll be looking at other values of j, other values of imaginary numbers in the next video. But when there's just 1j, one lot of the square root of minus 1, this is how Python will represent it, as 1j. Now, in engineering mathematics, j is regarded as a member of the complex number set, and you will often see that written in mathematics as shown here. J is a member of the complex number set, and we'll be doing more on the complex number set in the videos that are following this one. Check out the supporting website for these videos. In addition, why not follow me on Twitter, as I issue a tweet every time I upload a new video.